Thank you for tuning in, and welcome to Night Errant. Today we are going to talk a bit about winning and the importance of winning games. I'm joined by Sleeping Bear and Mother Nurgle, and I would like you guys to just start out with presenting your first thoughts on the subject.
Okay. Go.
Okay. So for me, I like winning close matches. I don't particularly like winning stomps. I don't particularly like losing stomps. I like playing close matches and mostly winning them, but I mean, I prefer a close loss to winning a stomp.
Yeah.
Like it's close match first, then winning, and then all the other stuff. Or at least, then of course other things that come into play are like, is the narrative a part of it? Are there fun lists, or are they fluffy lists, or are they just like?
No more. We don't talk about feta lists today because enough about that.
No feta lists. I like.
I get that. No one wants to play against the list that always win, or you don't want to play with the list that always win, or at least I think we can agree on that.
Almost, except I have actually reached a point where when I play Ronin, it's not about winning for me. Of course I'll try to win, but I've never beaten him in 40k. Skirmish games, completely other matter. Our minds work very differently when it comes to tactics, and in skirmish games, I'm pretty confident generally that I can beat him, but in 40k, for some reason, I just can't. So what I do is I mentally make up my own objective.
Yeah.
Be it, okay, but I want first blood, or okay, but I want warlord kill, or I want line breaker, or all three. So I don't care if I lose, but if I can get these, then it's good.
I think the most important part for me is that the players care about winning or losing, and not that they try to win, and that it's all part of it. It has to be entertaining. Yeah. So I like a bit of banter. I like a bit of trash talk, but from the army's point of view and not the players. So a bit of I don't know, prayers for Nurgle, and it's a 7. This is so my game, and all that. And is okay unless you mean it. Yeah. Something like that. I don't like watching battle reports where it is just automatic. That the players they know their rules, they know their list, they know every part of the supposed tactics.
Like watching two chess computers play each other.
Exactly. I imagine some people find that interesting, but I want some passion.
Yeah.
And no, I don't particularly care if I win as long as the game is fun.
Yeah.
There's also the fact that I am a terrible winner and a fairly good loser.
There is that.
Yeah. So for also the entertainment value and of friendship, it's somewhat important that I don't win all the time. And
you can be really cocky in a nasty way when you win.
Back to the ha. Yeah, I'm working on that. Fortunately, you all know me. And it's not really me.
It's
the army and the excitement and
and some part of you were damaged during your upbringing.
Apparently so. And it's possibly also part of it that I rarely win. Yeah, and I think that makes me a bit more excused.
Yeah, definitely does. But I mean, this In 8th edition, I've won 1 game, lost 3 as far as I recall. But in 8th edition, I think so.
Last we played 2 games, and I won both of those, and I won today, but just barely. Did you have a win before that?
Yeah, last far.
Right, yeah, you swapped the floor with him.
Yeah.
Right, yes.
But the thing for me is I would say that the most fun I've had with the game was the one we played, the last one we played.
Yeah.
It was way more fun.
It was awesome.
It was way more fun than the one I played with last fall also, even though I won, because last fall also, that's the thing, I like playing against people. I, on the contrary, like playing, not on the contrary, but I like playing with someone who invests in their army as well. And last fall was playing with your Dark Angels and not that invested into them. He didn't really like the Primaris Marines, let's be honest here.
Yeah, but
he definitely needs
on a side note, we're fixing
own
that.
army.
Yeah.
Lasfar is transferring most of his Dark Angels to my stock, so I can repaint where needed and stuff.
Okay.
And then he will be able to play with the Dark Angels without hating them when he visits.
Oh, that's
because
good.
Then it will also be his Dark Angels.
That's good.
Oh.
That's good.
Because it will be a few decades before he gets around to finishing an army, I think.
Yeah.
So it's easier that he can just, when he's here, play with my Dark Angels, and then I can play Mechanicum.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I'm still looking forward to the Gene Stealer army.
Yeah.
Eventually.
Yeah. Once he get rich and pay me or Ronan to paint it.
Oh, so we'll start with 50 points.
No such animal.
It's gonna be great.
Yeah.
So, I want to talk a bit about the game we played today.
Yeah.
It will have come up on the channel probably a few weeks ago, but just so you have a chance to find it, we'll put a link up there in the corner. And that game was extremely exciting, and at several points we were both cheering for the same person to win because it was just such a great story.
I mean, it started out, if you haven't seen it, go watch it right now, set this on pause, go watch it.
Yeah.
Because there will be spoilers for that game.
And
I think you have actually already spoiled it, but it's okay.
Yeah.
Because I think the keyword we're looking for here, the hashtag or something like that, is epic.
Yeah. But also the excitement.
Yeah,
Because back in 7th edition, most games, by turn 2 at the latest, I had a pretty good idea who would win.
Yeah.
And I haven't actually not been wrong.
No. You probably weren't wrong if after turn 1 if you said you were going to win. And it looked like you were going to win after your turn 1.
Yeah.
Because you got a buttload of victory points.
Yeah, right, yeah, on this one, yeah.
Yeah.
But compared to, we had a couple of games.
Yeah.
We had the Fire Raptor disaster.
Right.
The battle report that failed. But
Pew, pew. Sorry.
But unlike in 7th edition, in 7th edition, it all stood and fell with a couple of important die rolls, and I don't feel 8th edition as bad because in this game that you have watched now or don't care about spoilers,
Be warned.
I managed to pick up 7 victory points turn 1.
Yeah.
7?
7.
I didn't watch the game while you were playing, but I got reports after turn 1 you said I'm gonna win, and after half an hour or so you said okay, Sleeping Bear is gonna win, and then I talked to you about half an hour later and I'm definitely gonna win it.
I'm gonna win on points, but it's looking grim for the little guys.
No, you were quite confident. And
My guys were
just
dying
put
like
the
flies.
food in the oven. We are over in a second. And then you guys came in 20 minutes later, and it was wow.
Yeah, exactly. It was going so much back and forth because I was so ahead on points. Ended on 9. I didn't even bother to pick up a lot of points after turn 1.
No.
It just went down from there.
Yeah, but basically I picked up a warlord kill pretty much by accident and a lucky last cannon shot.
Yeah.
Warlord kill.
Yeah.
Sorry.
And
Ow, ow.
and then I made a fallback out of a melee that brought me into contact with an objective I managed to that I had a card for by chance. So the 2 points after turn 1 were like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
Because I was so ahead that all I had to do was not be tabled.
Yeah. And I knew after his turn 1, I knew, okay, this is not
an objective game. It
No.
might look like an objective game, it might smell like an objective game, but it is not an objective game.
This is we're back to kill robots, we're back to before 5th edition lore.
We're back to 3rd edition lore.
And you were almost tabled, right?
My tech marine Cafone ended the game in a horrible melee with a canoptic wraith and canoptic spiders coming in, closing in on him. I think he could win against the wraith. I'm not sure he could win when the spiders hit. And his only support were the completely undamaged rifleman dreadnought that stood a few paces in front of him and were like just trying to shoot down the oncoming onslaught.
Yeah.
Cena's invasion.
Yeah, everything else was dead, down to the last tactical. I mean,
Yeah.
my rhinos blew up in the last rhino blew up in his last turn.
Yeah.
After it charged some scarabs to just stop them from getting into melee with anything, and then the scarabs just ate it and.
Swarmed it. I can see it.
Yeah. Actually, yeah, but the scarabs were down to not that many, but they were still like trying to run over those scarabs. That's not what
Scarabs eat tanks.
scarabs eat tanks.
Get with the memo.
Yeah.
And also those slow but dangerous halberdiers you have, Lich Guards guys.
Yeah, Lich Guards.
They were just slowly walking through my army and just harvesting.
Seriously, they killed a lot of points.
They killed everything they touched. I mean, and they did it in the same turn they touched it. They just walked into stuff and it died.
Yeah.
And they were really good at that, really bad bodyguards, because somehow they managed to not stand in front of the Traveler when he took a last cannon shot to the face.
Yeah. So.
But this is what I like.
Yeah, exactly.
I like the war stories. If your report of the game was, I won.
Yeah,
Then
I won turn 1. I had so many victory points, there was nothing he could do.
Yeah, but even if your engagement in the battle
Was so
came
low.
out to oh, I won,
Yeah.
or well, of course I won, or it was a close call, then I don't feel your.
But that's my thing. I name my sergeants. I name my single characters.
So do you.
Yeah.
So that when Cafone went down to those halberdiers, I immediately was sure that he was not dead. He didn't escape either. He were now captured.
Yeah.
Oh.
So now we need to get
You like
Cafone.
the narrative.
Now we need to get Cafone back.
Yeah.
Yeah, of
And
course.
we might see how that goes, because someone might be interested in the exchange and some might not be. And
We want exchange filthy scenes.
exactly, especially not the relic we want, because
Come on, it's powering my cell phone. Do you know how hard it is to get a recharge out here?
just give us the fucking shot.
That's the signal.
No.
No, and Anarchy probably won't be back either, because he took a last cannon, so
He took a last cannon to the face. I mean,
He's regenerating.
This time it will take a while to get back up.
Yes, time.
But also, I mean, Turmiel is definitely too wounded to continue fighting. I mean, he went down in a hail of Necron warriors.
Yeah.
I mean, he was just swarmed by a blob of Necron warriors, swinging his sword, took out 1 or 2 or something, and then they were just like, no.
Yeah. And one of them got back up, and
Yeah.
it was just like,
Also, he was pretty wounded when he got in there.
yeah.
You guys are awesome. I just love the war
And I
stories.
can just imagine that librarian standing in the middle of that horde of warriors, just swinging and
His spells did slow you down so much that I could actually win, because if
Yeah.
he hadn't been, you can't see that, but if he hadn't been over here
The table is still
throwing
here.
spells, then you would have marched right through all the tacticals there, and just kill everything, and I would have lost.
yeah. Also the Termies.
Yeah, the Squad Barasio
Yeah.
were definitely a special kind of star players for this compared to Terminators in previous editions.
Yeah.
They came down, they took an objective on arrival, then they started to kill Wraith.
Yeah.
And it was only when the goddamn canoptic wraiths were like, screw this, we'll fall back.
Yeah.
We don't want to play with these boys. And then the Terminators got shot a lot, but they took, 2 units with them down or something?
Yeah.
So, you guys decided not to have a post-battle show, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I can hear
It
that.
shows. That's because people
We're getting back to the topic.
Yeah.
I actually think this is spot on the topic.
It is, but let's...
Let's go a little more.
Yeah.
High level.
Do you mind playing players who are care about the win? Well, not care. Who wants to win?
I'll play them once.
I have a different. There are different kinds of wanting
that's
to
not
win.
true. I'll play Lasfar and Ronan any day, but that's because I like them.
Yeah.
If I don't like the person, then I won't play them.
I think it's very much how you decide you want to win. If you're willing to use every trick in the book, including running the clock out and stuff like that when there's clock, then I'll play you once. Mm-hmm. If you're just in it because you made a good list, you're upfront about that. I'm making competitive list. Let's see who can make the best list, and we both have around the same possibilities of
then
making
you're on
a good
the same
list.
page.
Then you're on the
That's
same
okay.
page. That's okay. I'll play you a lot of times. But if you're just in it and you don't care about anything but winning, I will play you once.
People watching this channel also probably know by now that, to be honest, I'm not really a gamer like that. I really like to paint up armies, and then I like to see them on the battlefield and see how they perform. Which means that if I don't have a model for it, I don't put it in my list.
Yeah.
And I very, very rarely paint up stuff just because I need this loadout for a list.
No.
You're painting up stuff because you want to pay this model, or
that's why I spend more time on silly named elite choice characters for my 5th company than I should be painting up the proper named characters for their rules.
Yeah.
But I've come up with the backstory for these different guys, and they need to have models.
Yeah.
we need a bigger studio.
Yeah, we do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I can see that.
And with that, the narrative, the models, the good story, I mean, I don't really care. And with that, if the narrative is lost, then the fun is going out with it. And if people have unpainted miniatures and proxies and stuff like that, I don't mind people doing that. But I'm so glad
I do, actually.
I'll do it in your basements at home. But
well,
I always click,
not on a channel.
No, exactly. I click away from any battle report with unpainted minis. Even though I really like the channel, I really like the guys playing.
Yeah.
For me, as a hobbyist first, gamer second, it's painful to watch tin and plastic minis walking around on a blank tabletop shooting each other with dice.
Yeah.
As a new gamer, well, to 40k anyways, it is difficult enough for me to differentiate between units. They need to be painted up. I can't follow the game. It just
looking at a
me.
battle report and it's like, I don't know what's happening.
Yeah.
Also, a battle report should be kind of like when you watch. All of us have watched quite a bit of what do you call it? Esports.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was a hard word today. But we've watched quite a bit of esports. And if they chose to do like people did in the first Quake World Tournaments and add a mod so that all graphics disappeared because that would slow the computer.
Yeah.
So they just have colored areas showing here is you, here is the wall, here is...
Then we're back to it's about entertainment.
Yeah, exactly.
Especially when
also,
you're having a channel.
Yeah, there is a dramatic entertainment value to make it visually interesting. And I think that is actually the key for me. In painting as well as gaming, it's about the visual afterprint when I think back on the experience.
I would also very much like, I would very much like to be playing with my own named characters like Ben Gors and stuff like that, but I would very much like to do that when the codex is out so you can actually mod it so that they become...
So it's not just... Also, we are not at awesome right now. Our campaign right now is a battle between some named characters from the actual Games Workshop lore.
Yeah.
And the Fifth Company and my made-up characters in that. All your named characters are stuck on a small planet.
Yeah.
Far away.
Yeah, that is also true.
But our story will probably go somewhere there, because if there is some place you can find mystical power sources,
yeah,
it is awesome. That is what that planetoid does.
Yeah.
And Prometheum and
No, the Prometheum substitute, as we ended up agreeing, it is a byproduct of that the planet's core being weird.
Yeah.
So it bleeds out unending supplies of this liquid that can be substitute for Prometheum. Liquid. Yeah, exactly. Substitute for Prometheum.
But about winning, I also very much like. I mean,
sorry, everybody's
that's
making.
something I was talking
Could you
about.
open your beer too, and then we all done with that, and then we can talk.
Let's make some noise.
Yeah, my wine came in a cardboard box.
So, I'm doing drinks, you're doing beer, and you're doing red wine?
Today I'm on red wine. The Sin. This is an
No.
excellent wine.
Stop doing that.
It is an excellent wine.
Yeah, it can be bought in Denmark.
Yeah, but it's American.
Still. Yeah, you were saying?
I was saying. Now I think I might have forgotten. It's. Yeah, you don't want to lose all the time. Like, losing all the time, it becomes boring.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Why do you think I play you the day after I had Robin over playing?
No, but really, I mean, you can say it doesn't matter winning and losing and stuff, but I also I find it, I mean, it's not that interesting winning all the time either.
No.
Having, like, especially this becomes even more true.
Players like that.
Yeah,
Winning all
I think
the time.
most players do actually.
Most?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, I think
Not
most
just
players wouldn't mind winning every single game they ever played.
But
I
are they
mean-
tournament players? Because I can understand that.
No,
if
but
you're
but
a tournament player,
I mean,
then you play tournament.
again, Ronan is a good example here. He writes down his win-loss ratio, and
Yeah,
is
that's
smiling a lot when he tells he has 100% win, and he's writing down by what armies he played and stuff like that. And that is a part of the game for him, being undefeated. But then again, Ronan is an incredibly skilled player.
Yeah.
So of course he has a talent there
Yeah.
that is fun to practice at, to get better at.
Yeah. But, like, I remember when, this was back in the Mordheim days, when I found that playing Marine Burgers, you could very quickly...
You could, from the first game, hire a dramatic personage, Johan the Knife,
Yeah.
And then you won.
and then you could win all your games, because nobody in the campaign would ever get a foot down. So you could just hold everybody down and then just build your warband up.
Yeah. That was not fun for anyone. It wasn't fun for you, who I was playing with. It wasn't fun for me either, because it was not...
And we started that campaign up after finishing another basically endless campaign, where my beastmen were undefeated after like 50-something matches.
Yeah.
We had a draw.
Yeah, one draw and undefeated. Well, more than I had more than 50 wins.
Yeah.
And that was fun for a while.
Yeah.
Then it became stupid.
Yeah.
Then I started leveling incredible amounts of alts just to give everybody else a chance to level. And then I came back and killed somebody's leader or something. I was like, oh, okay, never mind. And that was a shame, because I liked my beastmen. I liked the narrative. They had a good story going, but they outplayed themselves.
Yeah.
And on that note, I had the same with my Dark Angels back when I decided to go Skitarii. The narrative of the Fifth Company is not very cool if all they do is getting wiped around, being kicked in the balls by any Xenos race they encounter.
No.
That makes them terrible elites.
Yeah.
You mainly played Necrons and
Necrons,
Elders.
Tyranid, and Elder.
Ouch. Yeah.
And
Let's see where this is going.
I had a terrible win ratio with playing just Dark Angels.
Yeah.
I think I had like one pure Dark Angel win in total. Once I brought in Mechanicum and painted up a couple of knights.
Yeah.
I could pick up wins, and sure, that made it more fun. Because then the story made sense.
Yeah.
Being just showing up at the gaming store knowing that you're about to lose for 8 to 10 hours before you can go home.
Yeah.
Just because you like your friends. And knowing that you're in a gaming store, noisy as hell, no narrative is going to be that the terrain is not themed to what you're doing, it's based on what is available.
Yeah.
Hell! I mean, I half the time I was just waiting for the store to close so we could go get that beer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I get that.
Definitely.
Yeah.
So yeah.
But no one ever writes a narrative. I am the army who is always the underdog.
Maybe always the underdog, but sometimes I win
Yeah.
because that's the good
because
story.
they're unlikely heroes.
Yeah.
I
Movies are full of those, but
I would be more than willing to just field 6 a combat squad unit of 6 Raven Wing bikers versus a force 4 times their point value for the good story of it. Just
Yeah.
you can scale that up, so maybe a couple of units.
you'll do that once, but you don't write. Then they will win in spite, or they will almost win in spite, and that makes for a good
it
story.
would be a free loss, as in if I lose, I haven't lost because of course I would lose.
Yeah.
And also there will be a narrative to it. You wouldn't go into a gaming store
But
and
hell, I can't play a regular board game without adding a narrative.
No.
I tried. I can't.
But actually, playing Nurgle, at least in skirmish games, I kind of figured that if they were wounded, the demons were just happy.
Yeah.
Oh, more infection, more blood, more gore. And I guess that is writing a narrative where losing doesn't matter that much.
yeah, but that's also.
But yeah.
I also do that sometimes with my Necrons. Like
They'll be back.
They'll be back. That's their whole theme.
Yeah, and their objective was to hold these guys here long enough.
Yeah.
And stuff like that.
I distracted you, huh?
Oh yeah. Narrative.
Narrative is very important.
But then again, we're back to if we want balanced wargaming, we would be playing War Machine or X-Wing or some such.
Yeah. But still, there's a reason why we don't play more time anymore.
Yeah, but that was also a very clunky rule sometimes.
Yeah, that was more not so much.
Unfinished, really.
Yeah, it was unbalanced as hell, but it was also just so many times you just have to house rule, and it was like we decided to have a no house rule campaign, and you couldn't do that.
It wasn't possible.
No.
We played for a while and realized it is not possible, and then we decided, okay, we'll go all in house ruling, fixing.
Yeah.
Not even if you choose to go rules as written. Sometimes they are just not.
You're just not written. There is not a rule covering this situation.
Or they're unclear and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And even it's written.
We could make a whole episode on whether or not poison and drugs are one-use items, right?
Oh god.
Oh god. But that's the thing. It's it takes a long time to discuss those rules and stuff like that, and you have endless discussion about them. That's what I like about 8th edition as well, because a win here or a loss here feels like a win or a loss because
Also,
of the game.
Also, in a few
So you
weeks,
don't lose to
in a
the
few weeks
to
we
dice
won't.
or to rules.
Right now, we are actually spending about half the time when we play looking up stats we don't remember,
Yeah.
and that's our fault. That's because we have learned from 7th edition to doubt ourselves all the time.
Yeah.
Because there were so many rules and so many exceptions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
We've looked up in the rulebook once today.
Yeah.
And that
Maybe
was
twice.
Yeah, twice, because before we played, just to be sure about the terrain rules.
Yeah.
Because I just assumed terrain rules up until now, and it turned out we were right on all counts except one.
Yeah, except one. Yeah.
Because the game is so simple and so straightforward. Also, we looked up Smite, yeah, because I doubted myself enough to not believe I could remember Smite.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll look Smite up tomorrow because I'm pretty sure I will have that one if.
I'll paint like a crazy monkey while I drink my morning coffee.
That is that.
But I am the painting monkey.
Yeah. At the moment, I really want to play a game tomorrow.
Yeah.
Against you, I guess. But at the moment, I only have 777 points painted.
Well, that's the perfect amount, isn't it?
I know, but not for a 1,000-point match. But when I realized it was, whew!
but yeah, we need an HQ and a couple of Plague Marines to be able to fill out a battalion.
Yeah, battalion. And a battalion would be preferable because then we could show off more command points.
At the time of filming this, we just got the Death Guard Codex.
That's, an important part.
This is not, I mean, we stack up Night Errant episodes. Because there was like 3 months without any episodes because I didn't stack them up. I just blurred them out when I had them.
Yeah.
And now we don't do that anymore. Now it's 1 episode a week and we stack them up because we have children and stuff in our community. So you can't be sure that you will have somebody to drink with or that you'll be able to drink yourself.
No.
Yeah.
So yeah, but at this time, when we're filming this, the Death Guard episode just hit.
I just received the codex.
The AdMech were released today.
Yes.
So it's in the mail. We'll have it in the beginning of next week.
Yeah.
This is where we are, just in case you were wondering.
Yeah.
So yeah, tomorrow we will be filming the game between those two.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Don't tell us how it ends. I know the comment section is right there, but we don't want to know how it ends.
Yeah. Nickvans versus Death Guard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The never-ending match.
I imagine that I will need the tripod because my arm would be sore if I have to film those back and forth.
So
We will never
I'll
die.
be back and I'll just roll a 5.
I'll be back. Okay, I'll wait.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I think we have covered winning.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think
we definitely need someone who really wants to win. But perhaps you guys can come.
I think we won.
We won.
And that's the important part, right?
Oh, right.
Also, when sitting over here, there is a weird echo from the heat lamp, which is really annoying when I speak.
What has that to do with anything?
That I noticed that it was the heat lamp who made the weird echo, which has annoyed me all this episode.
I think that's it for now.
Please remember to subscribe so you actually get to see some battle reports and some tutorials too. Like this episode if you think we're doing something right. And honestly, if you think this is the worst Night Errant episode, it's like, oh, you guys weren't drunk and nobody were fighting and there were no guns, then give us that one. That's okay. You can go ahead and give us a thumbs down because turns out YouTube doesn't care. In the programming behind what you're seeing, this and this is exactly the same. So we don't care. Give us a thumbs up, a thumbs down. Thumbs down will just tell us to
be more drunk.
Be weirder.
Yeah.
Thumbs up will tell us to do more of this.
Yeah.
Alright.
And please, when you do, make a comment so we know what you actually mean because I get confused. Anyway, take care and
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.